Well, good morning and welcome back to the channel. Well, it's been a busy couple of weeks trying to keep up with all of the comments on all of the videos about plug-in solar. So today I thought I'd take a seat, we'd calm down and we'd try and answer your top 5 questions. Starting with the number 1 question, is it legal? Okay, before we go any further, let me be very clear here. I am not a lawyer. I'm not an electrician. I am not an expert on policy, on the wiring regulations, or anything like that. All I can tell you is what I've been able to dig up by reading and researching into this whole topic. And let me be very clear, it is not clear, cut and dried. So, I found a really great website, which I will pop up a link on the screen. I'll also put a link in the description below. It is called ukpluginsolar.co.uk. And they have a really great page on the regulations. And to answer the question that I just posed of, is it legal? Their quick answer is, yes, plug-in solar is legal in the UK since the 24th of March 2026. The wiring regulations, BS 7671 Amendment 4, are now live. The BSI, that's the British Standards Institute, product standard for certified kits for DIY solar connection is expected in summer 2026. Until then, the fully compliant route is to use a qualified electrician. Now, I've said this for the last 2 years since we've had plug-in solar systems in our house, is the best way to do this is to get an electrician to wire it into a fused spur. And that way you don't have to worry about people accidentally unplugging it or not being compliant because you're not using the right kind of wiring or the right plug sockets, or if you've got the right RCBOs in your consumer unit. If you get an electrician in, they will take care of all of that for you. But this website is very good. It lays it out in simple terms that people can understand. You know, it sort of walks you through a timeline, again, which I'll pop up on the screen so that you can see it there. Now, again, it depends on your level of risk. And I'm sure there'll be people in the comments saying, but your house insurance might be invalid. That's why I say, go get a qualified electrician to do it. It won't cost you a lot of money and you'll have the peace of mind that you're not going to get into any trouble. But the question is it legal? There is no legislation in the UK that forbids this. Therefore, a policeman is not going to come and knock on your door and arrest you for doing plug-in solar. Question number 2, how much is it going to save me? Now, unfortunately, that is an impossible question for me to answer. The reason is everybody's different. You use a completely different amount of electricity and at different times of the day to I do. But all I can give you is my data. So what I've been doing is over the last 2 years for one of the systems and about 2.5 to 3 years for one of the other systems is I've been publishing that data on my website alongside what does my rooftop system generate. So to be completely transparent, so I'm not hiding anything, this is a completely automated system. Every single night I have scripts that log into all the devices, they pull all the usage data, they munch it all together and they publish it on the website with no human intervention. So if you'd like to see that, you can head over to my website, to jonathantracy.com. If you head up to the menus at the top to data visualization, again, links will be in the description below, and you go to the solar generation tab, it will load in data going back to, in this case, 2023. Now what you can see is a basic dashboard that shows all the different arrays. So in our Solar Edge system, we have 3 different arrays. We have the front of the house, we have the rear of the house, and we have the garage roof. And then underneath that, you'll see 2 systems. These are the ones in purple. These are the plug-in systems. There is Fence P-Stream. That is the fence-mounted system that consists of one panel over here and one of the panels behind me. They go into an EcoFlow power stream. Now, the power stream is an older plug-in system and they don't actually make it anymore. A lot of people really like them, me included, but they're not something you can just easily go and buy. You can get one on eBay if you really like them. But the modern version is the Stream microinverter. And then the second system, you can see there, the fence stream, apologies for naming, my fault, that consists of 2 panels on this side of the garden and 2 further panels on that side of the garden. And that is so that we get morning sun here, if the sun ever breaks through the clouds, and we get evening sun over there, and again, helps feed power into the house. So again, we can scroll down here. Now what you'll see is a bunch of graphs. And if you're just interested in the plug-in systems, you can turn off certain data sets. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to tap front, rear, and garage, and that turns off the solar age system completely from the data set. And you can see now we have the 2 systems. We have the Power Stream, which we've had a bit longer, we've had since 2024, and we've had the Stream Ultra system, which we've had for about 9-10 months now. So again, I'm just going to turn off the Power Stream so we can see the data just from the Stream Ultra. So this consists of a Stream Ultra, an AC Pro, and an AC. So 6 kilowatt hours of batteries, currently sitting in there with 4 440 watt panels connected to them. So you can see immediately there we've generated just in the space of almost a year 461 kilowatt hours. It's saved us about £130. Now I certainly wouldn't recommend you jump in with 6 kilowatt hours of batteries, because that's going to take your payback period out into the sort of 6 or 7 year period. But we can tap on any one of the bars. We can go into 2026 here. Ignore the green line for the moment. So we can actually see the different data sets. Whoops, there we go. And you can see obviously in January, it did almost nothing. The odd day we might have peaked above about half a kilowatt hour, but they're not optimally aligned panels, therefore they don't deliver a huge amount of energy. As we go through into February, into March, into April. In April, you can start to see we're up in the 5 kilowatt hour range. And again, as we head into May, it's been a on and off May. Some days we've had really good days where we've had 5 kilowatt hours. Some days we've had pretty poor days, and we've had the lowest we've had is just under 1 kilowatt hour. But the nice thing is if we scroll down to the bottom here, you can see the stream system on the right-hand side there, that 11.7% number. So what this is saying is, so far we have saved £245 by having this system. And we've had this system for just less than a year. So if I go back to the multi-year, you can see there, if I go to July, we installed it at the back end of July. So we're coming up on 1 year of ownership. But it has saved us about £245 so far, probably going to reach somewhere around about £300 to £330 by the 1 year mark. There is still £2,000 worth of equipment to pay off there, so about £1,855 still to pay. And that means we've paid off about 11% of that. So is it generating earth-shattering amounts of energy? Is it going to wipe out my bills? Absolutely not. Is it making a significant contribution to my home? Absolutely. So if I turn back on all of those arrays there, you can see at the top there, it's adding 5 to 10% maybe, depending on the month that you look at. If we look at May, you can see there, it's probably adding 5% between the 2 plug-in systems. So again, not going to wipe your bills out, but will make a meaningful contribution. Okay, question number 3. How have you got your panels mounted? Well, every single panel in here has a different mounting system on them, because I generally buy different mounting systems as I go along. I try different ones out, and the best one I've come up with for hanging panels on a fence is a simple hook. The panels behind me have a hook that just goes through 2 slots on the back of the panel. They're just bolted on, and then they hook over the top of the fence. And you can see from these panels here, they run the full length of the fence. They are literally hanging 1 centimetre off of the ground. And they're fine. They've no requirements to have any other fixing. The wind doesn't get behind them, and short of a 50-year storm blowing through, which I probably would take the panels down and store them in the garage if that was coming, there's been no issues with the wind getting underneath them and lifting the panels up. Now, once a year, I do take them down and make sure that there's no issues. It's not damaging the fence isn't rotting away behind them, but they just sit there and they generate energy all day long. Now, the next question that came up a lot was about the choice of microinverter. So in the test that I ran, I used the Hoy Miles. This is the, and I've got to look at the back because the names just roll off the tongue. It is the HMS 800W-2T. This is the microinverter that I used, and a lot of people asked why this particular microinverter over the EcoFlow Stream microinverter. And the honest answer, this was available. I was able to go onto Amazon, order this, and it was here 2 days later. I will put links in my my Amazon storefront page if anyone who's looking for a microinverter and you want to help out the channel. There will be affiliate links in the description for this video. But this is a really high quality microinverter. No issues with it. You can actually see in there all the sort of dirt for where it rained, where it was lying on the floor. It functioned absolutely perfectly for the whole point of the trial. I have no issues with the microinverter whatsoever. A really, really good bit of kit. Why this over the EcoFlow? Like I say, I couldn't get the EcoFlow to do the trial. So I chose this and very, very happy with it. Now, there are a couple of things to bear in mind with this. The Hoy Miles make multiple versions of microinverters. Some of them support direct Wi-Fi access. Some of them require something called a DTU. This particular one doesn't require the DTU. So if you get the 800W2T, this connects over Wi-Fi, so you can connect this directly to the S-Miles Home app that they make available for it. Now, as I say, the microinverter itself, really great. The app, not so good. And this is where I think the EcoFlow, even though I haven't had a chance to test the actual microinverter itself, the EcoFlow app itself was much superior to the Hoy Miles app. So quite often when I logged into this, into the Hoy Miles app, I was getting an error saying could not connect to server. And this happened, I would say on average, once or twice a day over the sort of 10 to 12 days that I ran the trial. So I think they still have some work to do on their app, the reliability of the software, but from a hardware perspective, this thing was absolutely solid. Now, one other difference is when you order this, you will get, and I haven't actually got the tool to undo this, you will only get this piece and the inverter. You will need to purchase this plug-in separately. It's about £7, again, link in the description below, and then source your own piece of cable. Now, this actually makes a lot of sense if you think about it, because I needed a couple of meters of cable with a plug on the end of it, but what if you need 20 meters of cable? It makes no sense for them to just put an arbitrary length of cable in the box and hope that that works out for you. So I think a really sensible way, it would have been nice if the £7 connector came in the box with it, given you can't use it without it. It is a proprietary connector. But yeah, I understand why they want you to source your own cable, because everybody's needs are different. And the final one for today is, am I back in the good books with the CFO? Now the patio furniture is back where it should be. I would like to say I'm getting there, but I think I'm always getting there. I've got to say a big shout out to my wife. She puts up with an awful lot of crazy experiments that go on in our garden where I'm consistently trashing the place, moving stuff around. So a huge thank you to her for putting up with me. That's it for this really short video. I need to get back inside because I think it's about to start raining. But if I'm lucky, I'll see you back here real soon for another video. Take care. Bye-bye.